And how you guys doing? This is very important in reference to the teeth damage and the rape and sexual assault and financial crimes of these political parties and their locations. How many people in other cities and states have seen this type of pattern of abuse, the pattern of damage that these people have done to my face and teeth, and the fact of them accusating and raping me and stealing my genetics? All the people that stole genetics face the death penalty and life in prison too. Do you understand that? I'm not their race. I'm not their religion. I'm not obligated by any law to breed with any of these people. They are violating bloodlines of my mother and father and grandparents. So, in reference to that point of information, there is no law that allows them to rape and pillage people's lives in this country. So every person that's been terrorizing my life must get prosecuted. And the Pentagon might have to order executive orders to stop this man, whether that means the death penalty. There's on-site restrictions too. Does the Pentagon have those documents? Reference to on-site restrictions in reference to anybody attacking me or raping me or rendering me unconscious and damaging my face or teeth or physically assaulting me? Does the Treasury have those documents? Maybe the Pentagon can contact the Treasury and ask them in reference to the royal documents of on-site restrictions, meaning in reference to anybody approaching me that is on the hate club list or anybody that's tied to any political party of people. Now, everybody knows that politicians are full of shit, most of them are. They've never helped any real companies in this country. They've never helped any real people in this country. They just play like they're going to, or they pretend like they're going to, and they never really do. So in reference to business owners, you might think it's high and mighty to say you're attached to some politician. But obviously, most of them have never done nothing for nobody but conspire against people and their ownerships of things, is what most of these dirty politicians do. Let's take a poll on the information. People on YouTube, maybe you can look up information of what politician has ever helped business owners in this country. Most of them try to get money from businesses, don't they? And some of these people that stole money from me, or they stole money from my mother, they have been illegally funding, possibly, their political campaigns of their regime. The Pentagon needs to look into the finances of these politicians that were holding on to monies, whoever these people were, holding on to monies from my mother, Doris Duke. So in reference to the satellite damage, these people have tried to accusate against products of different types when the products do not cause those types of damage. Those are microwaves and fifth-degree burns. And the satellite man must get the death penalty or life in prison immediately. Fifth-degree burns from a satellite is attempts of murder and mutilation. So whoever's doing it must get prosecuted. I'm not your child, I'm not your property, I'm not your race, and I'm not from your class either. Bring your credentials to the courtroom. Bring your financial portfolio to the courtroom. Bring your financial portfolio before you got into government. And bring your financial portfolio after you got into government. Meaning, like, since you got into government, bring in your net worth, what you were before you got into government, and what your net worth is since you've been in government. And what you have tried to do to me and what you have stolen from me. I'm not your child. I'm not your property. And all the men that fabricated thinking I was their child, or all the women that thought I was their child, must get prosecuted. These satellite controllers have tried to call me their race and damaged my face and teeth and have raped me and physically assaulted me. They must get prosecuted no matter who the fuck they are. I'm not your child. I'm not your property. You must get prosecuted for what you ever did, whatever was stole from me. I'm not playing your Nazi regime games, man. This is America. There is no Nazi law in America. You're violating American law and the Constitution. And you must get prosecuted for your assault and violence and sexual violence and mutilation. Your sexual mutilation crimes of damaging beautiful teeth. And every time you accusated against me, it's lawsuits against you every fucking time. So the Supreme Court, you need to have it on record how many times this shit has happened. You're obligated by law to prosecute. If you're not going to do your job, you're illegally holding a position, allowing these people to do these crimes, which means you're tied into organized crimes of politics. Raping people and mutilating their teeth is an organized crime of government. How many other cities and states have seen these types of abuses from government agents and politicians and law enforcement and task force agents? Or how many times have you seen these types of crimes from medical people? See, the people that denied me my benefits because of my injured shoulder, they're tied in with the politician that had been raping me, the politician that was involved in the murder of my mother, the politicians that was involved in stealing from my mother, the politicians that called my mother and demanded money from her for their campaign or their financial gain. The ransom notes of what these people demanded from my mother when they were holding me hostage in the 80s. That all has to be public information. The crimes of these satellite controllers and their mutilation, the act of law enforcement not arresting these people or knowing who these people are, they are obviously intentionally covering up the identities of the assailants, the abusers, the rapists, the perverts. These government men are child molesters too. These men attacked me when I was little too. When I was back in the 80s, when they kidnapped me, they held me hostage, and other times. They even tried to rape me in Arkansas when they held me hostage in Arkansas. Do you know the names of all those people that held me hostage, those political people that tried to rape me when I was little? I'm a real hermaphrodite, naturally born. You might think it's freaky, but there's nothing freaky about it because it's all real and natural. So any accusation you make up slandering my character can get you put in prison, or you could face the death penalty for trying to murder me with your social disorder accusations or your social public scrutinizing. You can face life in prison or the death penalty for trying to murder me with your chain letter games of abuse, your illegal clergy, or your organized crime of politics or organized crime of government, or the organized crime of the Treasury if any of them are tied in with these politicians that have done things to me or stole from me. You're violating documents of my identity. You're violating the structure of my face and teeth. You're violating my anatomy. And you must get prosecuted. I don't believe in forceful rape or forceful sex or mutilations, and you should face the death penalty for your fucking crimes. You sick piece of shit motherfuckers.